Welcome to the Dumbfound Dishes podcast. Usually I add us back in while the music is still playing, but I kept clicking it and it didn't work for some reason. Very weird, very weird.
It's all
So,
right. I saw the condition you were in on Sunday after the Super Bowl, and I figured the
whoa,
next the next
whoa,
couple next couple
whoa.
of days would be a little rough for you.
So if we're gonna go right into that, all night long, a mutual friend of ours kept going, Mike, you want another dab? Hey, Mike, you want another dab? Mike, would you like another dab? And that was after I already chiefed this for an hour. I was so fucking stoned. I remember Nicole, our friend Nicole was there, and I was like, think I'm gonna do the Irish exit. And she's like, go out that back door then, right there. And I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. And then another friend of ours, Lou, was like, what's that? I never heard of that before. I'm like, Google it. And he Googled it and he goes, oh, that's a scumbag move. I'm like, no, it's the Irish exit.
If it's within the confines of the rules of the Irish exit, then
Well,
it's not a scumbag move.
what ends up happening to me though is I went out the back door, and my friends were hanging out outside the back door, and they're like, Mike, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing the Irish exit, and I started walking away, and I just hear people
Rule
go,
of thumb with the Irish exit is you're not supposed to announce that
well,
you're
shut.
performing an Irish exit.
So I say I'm
Rule
doing,
one about spies: never tell anybody you're a spy.
so I'm like, goodbye, Irish exit, and they're like, scumbag, as I'm getting further away, like the echo is hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, like there was only one way out for you that night. It was crazy. I know who's going to. I tapped out after one dab. I was like, I'm not doing any more.
I didn't tap out that night at all. It was
Mike, you were so dabbed out of your mind that we were all sitting down watching the football game, and you asked when the fights were going to start, and I said, Mike, the UFC was last night. You're 24 hours late. You thought you were at the fights. We were watching fights.
I don't think that actually happened. I don't think that actually happened because I talked about the fights with you guys.
And you thought they were going on as we were talking about it.
The only fight going on was in here trying to stay conscious.
That is definitely true.
Or in someone else who decided to put money in the Phillies. So, not the Phillies,
you
but
mean the
Eagles, but
yeah.
Phillies. Any Philly team. Fuck the Phillies. Sorry.
Listen, the sure bet in Vegas that weekend was that Philly was going to burn to the ground, win or lose.
Did you say you saw an interview on TV where they're like, yeah, win or lose, we're burning this motherfucker to the ground?
Well, I think it was satirical. I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but they were doing a comparison to Kansas City fans that were all saying, we're going to go get some good barbecue.
But
and all the Phillies fans said they were going to riot. Win or lose.
The problem is, it was, as much of a satire it was also very factual.
They were flipping cars before the game started. It was still broad daylight in Philadelphia. Sun goes down there around 5:30. Still broad daylight in Philadelphia, and they are flipping cars.
So, in the news, not to segue.
While all that's going on, there are balloons, people. Apparently,
are they balloons, though?
Who knows? I think they're balloons because Yeonmi Park came here from fucking North Korea with the balloons, and they just followed her in.
The heavies, the two heavy balloons.
The two heavies.
That was yeah.
The heavies.
Another segue. We were talking about before we actually started the podcast. We were talking about the episode of Flagrant.
Speaking about Asian balloons.
Wow, giant balloons floating in the air. Wow. But so they shot down, what, 4 in total or 3 in total? And one of them they said is the Chinese spy balloon.
4 objects in total.
I like how they named it the Chinese spy balloon, although they never confirmed, or released to us at least, if it actually was spying on us. Then they shot down 3 other objects in the sky that they said they do not know what they are yet, which is weird because, wouldn't they have picked up this debris by now and said, hey, what is this? So they're not
depending on this is the thing, what they're saying right now. There's 3 things I want to say about the size of these things and
I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me? You froze. God damn it. You completely froze. And you're not here. Oh, look, we were about to talk about the spy balloons, and now Ryan's gone. Where'd he go? I'm gonna prepare to share something while we wait for Ryan to figure out he's not here and come back. Let's see. Preset. Share screen. No. Sure. We'll watch the news. Stepped on the GFI. He said, sorry, I stepped on the GFI. I don't know what that means, but.
Tonight, a third airborne object was spotted over Canada today and was quickly shot down by U.S. military. Now,
there was nothing quick about the way we reacted to this.
NORAD confirmed this to Fox News, but has not shared details on this latest object.
See, that's weird.
This comes 1 week after the U.S. shot down.
They won't share details of the it's very weird. Something's very weird.
An apparent Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina, and 1 day after another object was shot down over Alaska. Well, now the U.S. is blacklisting 5 Chinese companies believed to be linked to Beijing's aerospace programs. Reports say this is a direct retaliation against China. Experts say this latest change will likely cause tension between the U.S.
Whoopsie.
It was just very ironic that happened at that exact moment.
Well, who knows? Maybe China's sabotaging my operation over here.
Well, for real. And I don't.
Who steps on a power cord? Who does that shit?
I don't know. Apparently
anyway.
you.
Yeah, so can I go back to the 3 things that I was about to say?
Yes.
Okay. So 3 things. The reason why you can't find a lot of that shit is because they're saying that they were smaller objects, quote unquote. And they obviously, like I think we were saying before the podcast, they obviously shot down that first balloon that was rather sizable for, like a suborbital fucking balloon that could just go 60,000 to 100,000 feet in the air. And there was some debris that was found because we've seen this shit hanging off of it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything from the Alaska, Canada, and Lake Huron balloons, right? And that could be why there's no footage, so that they could sort of keep secret what they find out, because now that that first balloon is all over the media and you can see it, they don't want China to know what we know that they sent over. That's number 1.
Yeah, but if they announce to the world, the world basically, that they shot down these 3 other objects, they're just leaving most Americans, in the dark on it. Hey, are we under attack by aliens? What's going on? Because, isn't this how Independence Day started?
With balloons?
No, not
balloons.
That's what I'm saying. They're not confirming the other 3 were balloons.
No. I mean, I think they were obviously I don't know. This is sort of how it's played out. Is it a false flag kind of thing? Or is it we made it all the way across the country, let's antagonize them more, and it's just China just being dicks? Or did they release all these together because a lot of these things don't have propulsion systems and they're just floating about? So maybe it's just the winds brought them to where they were. What I was reading
somewhere is that because of the first balloon that was shot down, that was clearly a balloon, it put the aviation security of this country on high alert. So now they're physically actually looking for these things. They weren't looking for them before. So now they're looking for anything that's weird in the skies, and now they're finding lots of fucking weird things.
Yeah, that could possibly maybe not even be China. It could be other countries that are sending that shit up.
Is that a tinfoil hat on a cat?
Yes, that's awesome.
That is fucking awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, number two, right? Number 2 is I completely lost my train of thought on that one.
Jesus.
Okay, the first one was the size of the balloons, whatever, that you're not finding the debris. Number 2. Fuck, man. I have something really good. Oh, number 2, they're only calling it China balloon now. I think they were going through different names and they just figured that the Wuhan balloon and the fucking COVID balloon was just not going to be.
You can't call it the COVID. Jesus Christ, man.
So they're with China balloon right now, but they're going to end up changing that because eventually the China balloon is just going to be too
racist
or xenophobic, I guess you would use that term for. So I predict in the next couple of weeks they'll be called, or Z-phobic,
I found some video. Let me. All right, so this is what we were watching beforehand. Oh, it just went away. What the hell? Stop it. Thank you.
As I was in La La Land.
Yes.
Well, news alert tonight, a third airborne
object was spotted over Canada today and was quickly shot down by U.S. military.
Now, NORAD confirmed this to Fox News, but has not shared details on this latest object.
Both these women, I'm sorry if this offends you, but you both look dead inside.
This comes 1 week after the U.S. shot down an apparent Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina, and 1 day after another object was shot down over Alaska.
They only call them objects.
Now the U.S. is blacklisting 5 Chinese companies believed to be linked to Beijing's aerospace programs. Reports say this is a direct retaliation against China. Experts say this latest change will likely...
Well, they're saying that they said to them that they're pissed about it. But I mean, like, listen, can I just say this? And in all seriousness, all joking aside, and I'm pretty sure this is has to do with some sort of international agreement amongst the countries, right? Now, you could fact check me if I'm wrong, but don't you have to give a forenotice to the other country if you go over their airspace? Right, that's a thing, right? Like, hey, Russia, if you're not a non-commercial flight, and even commercial flights have to have permission to come over airspace, right? So, and that's why they make no-fly zones and demarcations and shit like that, to not encroach into certain airspace and shit like that. So I'm just assuming that China could have just been ring ring and be like, hey, we're going to be flying some balloons for some testing. We're going to be testing shit. And then the United States would have to give permission because they would have to have some sort of intelligence on what the fuck is flying over them. And if you don't give somebody foreknotice, right, you're just going to shoot them down. So now, like you said, they're paying extra attention. And my thing was, when the first balloon popped, I was like, how many more of these have gone unnoticed and for how long? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going to call it, and going back to my second point, I was just going to go, why do we just stop calling it the China balloon and just call it the TikTok balloons? Could they just be TikTok balloons?
Wow.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Balloon.
Maybe it's TikTok just trying to fucking gather information on all of their users in the United States, fucking trying to do fucking pop and lock dances and shit.
So, Tin TV, is that a reference to the Marburg virus that's currently outbreak? I didn't even know this existed. I haven't heard it once in the news.
Is it like a chemtrail balloon or something that got people sick?
No. It's a virus. The Marburg virus. Here, I'll show you this. Where's the screen? Share screen. I love when everything's blocked by a paywall. Go away. I'm going to play the video. I didn't even know there was an outbreak of this virus, just to be honest.
Bacterial dicks.
It's the same family as Ebola.
Dick.
Viral hemorrhage.
Oh, so it eats you from the inside out and you hemorrhage to death. You bleed to death.
And it was transmitted to humans through fruit bats. Jesus Christ. We're gonna fucking all die.
Listen, there's fucking diseases all the time, dude.
No shit, but
we're filled with them. We're filled with them. Now, who's to say who has the activation to turn on all that fucking shit? See, that's where the real, you know what I mean? Like we're steeped in fucking bacterium and viruses. It's just that body's staving it off all the time. We're constantly.
Yes.
That's why autoimmune disorders are so deadly, is because when your body ceases to have the ability to do that, those things that are already inside you will start to kill you.
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
And all the other fucking shit coming from the outside. But the thing is, who's to say that shit isn't inside you and somebody just found out where the remote control is to fucking turn that shit on to a population? You know what I mean? Maybe that shit is already in your body all the time. Maybe brain-eating amoebas are just floating around and, something aggravates them to fucking...
Here's the Chinese spy balloon being shot down.
This is number one, correct?
This is the Chinese spy balloon. This is the first, obviously.
Fly into
that's the missile. They shot it.
danger
They're shooting at it.
zone.
Oh, look, they shot the missile.
I swear.
There's the missile.
I told you that was the sound barrier.
They popped.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, something's falling.
Something's falling? What's falling?
Oh my gosh.
It's
Just
popped
took that
already.
thing out the sky.
Why would they do that right over us?
Why would they do that right over you?
No, it's over the ocean right now.
Yeah.
It's over the ocean. Shut up. Like, why would they do that over us? Shut up! You'd be so lucky. You'd be so lucky you had war debris falling over your fucking house. At least you get to keep something. You have some leverage over the government. Be like, I'm not giving it to you. I know my rights. My property. Why would they
Operation
do it right over us?
Catastrophic Cantage. They met last October.
Is this another one of the cabal meetings?
I'll look it up in 1 second. You know, I miss my show Conspiracy Hour with Coz, but I mean, it's the same thing as what we do here anyway. But still.
We could, yeah. I enjoy talking shit.
So here's another video, I think, of this thing being shot down.
It's from underneath.
This time it's really underneath. Jesus Christ, are they in a boat?
Under the bull's balls. They're probably in the ocean, yeah, because the vantage point would put them. America! Oh,
Did
shit.
it even hit?
Yes. What happened was, you remember you heard the kid say there was a sonic boom.
Yeah.
When they shot the payload takes off faster than the fucking jet. So if the jet's going at like 600 miles an hour, if this jet's going 600 miles an hour, that means that rocket, after it's been propelled, is going past the sound barrier, past the 737 miles an hour that it takes to go past the sound barrier. So that missile is going like 800 miles an hour. So you hear the boom, and then you see the thing pop because the bottom, that thick chemtrail underneath, was the fighter jet.
Yeah, no, I know that.
The thin one was the rocket. You see it just disappear out of its line of exhaust.
Oh, shit. The shape is here. I didn't even realize the shape is here. But yeah, is it a UFO they shot down? We don't know. I think the first one they confirmed was I was going to say an alien spy balloon. A Chinese spy balloon. That's for sure, according to what we know. The government told us, at least.
Well, they're called something new now, if you're going to be politically correct. Aren't they like UMEs or something like that? Or
Listen.
didn't they change the...
I'm not politically correct. Fuck politically correct.
So we're just going to be boomers and call them UFOs? Is that what we're going to do?
It's a fucking UFO. It's an unidentified flying object.
My nephew told me that's a boomer term. And I was like, what? And then he told me, he was like, no. Don't you notice that they're calling them something? You know, I was like, okay, yeah, but they're still unidentified flying objects.
Yes.
Technically, these balloons are unidentified because they still don't know what, they're only just finding out now these things didn't have any sort of propulsion. So they're just like floating about. But the thing is, like, let's just say they're not some sort of fucking little green men. Let's just say they are. Just even still, the conspiracy enough that we're allowing China to fly balloons over us, or we're just turning the other cheek and allowing that to happen, is enough to spur a fucking conspiracy.
Well, I mean,
nothing to do with anything extraterrestrial. You know what I mean?
They say, or they said.
Is this a they said?
This is a regular thing that we spy on each other all the time. China and America. It's
part of the game, right? Since World War I, since espionage was fucking created in the, during
So this is nothing new.
World War II.
And it's literally war games at this point.
Yeah, but it seems like a little like is it an exaggeration? Are we just bugging out over hot air?
It's probably helium, not hot air.
No, I know that. Yeah, because they're definitely not going that high up in the fucking air with just.
It's 60,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be hydrogen in there. Actually, it could even be lighter than helium for them to go that high, because they have those helium balloons. Listen, maybe Kim Jong-un had a fucking giant birthday party and let all of his fucking balloons up in the air or whatever. That could be something else too. But maybe because if you notice, when they send out balloons, actually. All joking aside, the helium ones don't go up that high. They stop at a certain point. And I know that they used to use hydrogen in those fucking Zeppelins to go extra high.
How do you know they stop at a certain point? How do you know they don't just keep going?
No, they do, but they don't ascend that high up and sustain. They get blown down and stuff like that. Like those weather balloons had hydrogen in them. I think the Hindenburg had fucking hydrogen.
No,
and that's why. That's why it went to, but those Zeppelins used to go up real fucking high. Speaking about Zeppelins, that meme that's going around is that us retaliating over China is that big Budweiser Zeppelin. Did you see that shit?
I saw it. The meme? Yes.
Very
I
funny.
saw it.
Very funny. Loved it. It's
I
fucking
think
awesome.
Budweiser, Zeppelin, meme.
Meme. Meme. Meme. This one's good. I like this one. Makes me feel patriotic, and I don't even like Budweiser. Budweiser gives me fucking heartburn.
Wow.
But like regular Bud, I haven't been able to fucking handle more than drinking one or two of those at a time in like a decade. That shit would insta give me fucking agita.
No, the meme's okay. I'm not even gonna bother sharing it. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But do you think that this is a non-China thing? Do you think it's a
The if the first one was a Chinese spy balloon, I think it's safe to say that the next three are also Chinese spy balloons,
you would think?
but they're not. It's weird.
They say they're not the same thing. They're smaller.
Yeah.
They
It's
may not have the
weird.
same payload, the same equipment. You know what I mean?
We would love to. I can't say the same for Ryan, but I'm just saying we would love to. We're live Wednesdays at 9:15, so if you want to come check us out again, let me know. Not me, let me know. Please come check us out again. You can't.
Yes,
let me know. If you're gonna come log in, please text me first before you. You have to be invited to this public stream on YouTube.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks for the invite, 10 TV.
yeah, definitely. We'll be in touch.
Yes.
I have a video to share. Not video to share. Another unidentified flying object.
This is Saturday's object now?
I don't know. It's just they're all over North America apparently.
For the third time in a week, an unidentified object has been detected in the sky over North America and shot down. This time,
they have to know what it is if they're just shooting it down. Like, you have to fly a plane past it and look before you shoot at the fucking thing.
But they said, we're flying past this too fast. We can't get a lock on the object. It's pretty stationary. Like, it's just like floating in the wind. And they're blowing past it. They're not going at it with, they're going at it with these supersonic fucking jets. This is the thing. And I understand that, right? Now, I'm saying maybe, like you were just saying, oh, well, the likelihood of them being Chinese balloons again and again.
Extremely high.
It's
I would
extremely
assume.
high. Now, I even said this after the first one. What if this was just like a fucking test to see if they could fucking, instead of hard equipment warfare and operations, they're testing our vulnerability to slow-moving shit, and they could easily just strap bombs to these things and fly them over a fucking city and just drop them.
Well, that's what I was like. If they were going undetected because they're just very non-mechanical, so to speak, and it's hard to detect that with our current technology, what's to stop them from just sending a nuke on one of these balloons?
Yeah.
And then setting it
Well,
for...
not even a nuke, just something that's like a high yield bomb. Like, it doesn't even have to be like a nuke, but they could strategically target.
But to be honest, what's the point of a high yield bomb? If you're gonna go and do something like this, you go all out. You drop the biggest nuke you have,
But I'm saying to go to like military installations and stuff like that. Not like they'd even make it that close, but like important areas. Like, I guess like somebody who has military contracts, right, for tech, right, in the private sector, that they could just go and blow up the fucking, their main building in San Jose or in Miami or in New York City and just take out the building and then ruin their research on whatever they were trying to fucking do to, like get at China on that espionage shit. You know what I mean?
Steal our technology.
Not steal it, but like
Destroy it.
destroy it.
Yeah, but they don't want to destroy anything.
And
they
maybe
want to
going
steal
primitive.
everything.
This is the thing. Maybe going primitive is the move because everything's gotten so fast paced and so like we could be there in less than 3 hours and all of that shit. 45 minutes to shoot a rocket from one side of the planet to hit the other side. That maybe we strap bombs to these things and set them off, and in about 2 months they'll be right over where we need them, and then we just let them go, and the ones that miss just drop in the ocean. So that there's no collateral damage.
Did you see the movie Tenet?
No, you told me about this movie.
Yes, you should see
Yes.
this movie.
Okay.
But it's basically about the future declares war on the past.
Like Goobacks in fucking in South Park, where they come to take the jobs.
Not quite, but like they set up a nuclear bomb to go off in the future sets up a nuclear bomb to go off in the past.
To fuck themselves like a reverse Terminator?
Actually, kind of, yeah.
Why? What?
Because they were pissed with they were very upset with the way the past handled the environment and the world, which causes the world to really suck in the future. So they said the solution to fixing the problem is to destroy the past.
So do they get to go back? Is it a one-way trip like Kyle
So
Reese?
you have to watch the movie, but like basically there's people that move backwards through time.
Okay.
And there's people who move backwards through time to stop the future from trying to.
Well, there are people like that. There's that one guy who said 8 or some shit like that.
So what happened? You broke up. The one guy who what?
There's that one dude who claims he's from 2828 or 2835 or 2838 or something like that.
Sounds legit.
And he's sort of like half. Maybe he. I might be fucking this all up, but he like maybe half predicted
Right
some
now,
shit.
for the third time in a week,
Sorry,
an
did not mean to do
unidentified.
that.
He may have half predicted some shit. I don't know. You don't have to look that up right now, but he may have even predicted all this China shit. Said something about Taiwan. I think maybe this guy. I don't know. Strange. He
If
said nothing about Russia.
Taiwan, that's a little weird.
But what if, like, okay, what if you're like a psychic, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, war with China is imminent, but then we go to war with China and Russia. And I'm like, but you were right about China, but you didn't say jack shit about Russia. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I'd be like, maybe you are full of shit.
Well, isn't that how Nostradamus was? Like he said things, but they were so broad.
Yeah, they were very broad strokes, and he like never got like, okay, everybody's like, he made a prediction about Hitler, and it was like, well, he said the guy's name was Hister, but in his translation it would be pronounced differently. It's just anglicized, it's Hister, and it's that's still not Hitler, it's still not the same thing. I don't know.
That's funny.
But whatever, like, yeah, all
What's
that
good,
shit.
Mr. Zeddy?
Zeti 89. What's good, my man?
I don't know how to say that. Sorry.
Senor Zeti. But yeah, I think maybe these are Chinese balloons from the future coming to fuck up China in the past. Maybe China's trying to fuck itself up because they get too fucking fucked up and polluted and shit like that. And they try to make like America annihilate them just so that they can have a better China in the future for some stupid, weird, sadomasochistic reason. Maybe we just figured it all out, Mike. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Yomi Park is a fucking spy. And maybe she brought those balloons with her. Maybe she did. She's like 90 something pounds, and 40 pounds of her is straight up titty.
No, it's more than 40.
So probably 45 pounds of straight up titty.
Yeah.
She's all breast, bro. She looks like she was raised on a fucking Purdue farm.
Raised on a wow. Oh wow. Anyway. Sorry, this thing is driving my arm pretty.
No hormones.
No hormones.
She took 2 sips of American milk and then wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, but apparently eating rats fucking does a body good too, I guess.
I mean,
not just milk.
Like, how does she have all this money from her book?
Yeah, she made a lot of money, off of telling her story. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if there was a TED Talk somewhere in there or whatever, but I know you were saying pre-broadcast that you think she's possibly full of shit. She's not just full of memories. She's not just full of milk, but she's full of shit.
I don't think she's full of shit. I think maybe her story is made up, and she's a paid misinformation spreader.
Oh, she's a fucking whatchamacallit? A crisis actor?
I watched the same show she was on with what's his face? Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz, yeah.
He was on Rogan talking about it, and he said,
she was on Rogan as well. Yeah.
He said, "How do we know North Korea is really that bad?" He's like, they're so closed off from the rest of the world. The only thing we get is secondhand information. You know, we never.
Or third hand, even. We don't even get secondhand information
So
sometimes.
what if it's a paradise there, and the United States is just lying to everybody about how bad it is, even though it's paradise?
I've been to close to paradise on Earth, and motherfuckers know. There is no. Listen. There is no like savage land in the center of Antarctica, like in Marvel Comics, where there's just lush greenery. No, because we would be there now. We exploit everything that is good about this planet. As soon as somebody knew that North Korea was the bomb. Now, you can scientifically prove that it's not because of where it lies on the latitude and longitude and the surrounding terrain on the countries around it. It is surrounded by fucking tundra in the winter. So, it is definitely fucking cold. It's definitely difficult to grow shit, for sure. Especially when you don't have the biggest producers of everything in the world not shipping shit to you, and China's the only one giving you stuff.
Oh,
they're
wow. I didn't realize that.
They're crumbs. China's only giving them crumbs.
They're not. They're right on the same.
It's definitely not utopia. Let's be honest.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's like the same weather that Japan gets, and Japan's not always that. It's not.
Japan is an island nation. It's surrounded by water, and the water really changes shit. You know what I mean? It really changes shit. In a weather front, I know this from living in Florida. A weather front passes through the western United States and then comes across to the east and then hooks down and always leaves a little pocket of Florida. You'll be in Jacksonville and it'll be fucking 45 degrees, but you'll be in Miami and it'll be fucking 79, 82 degrees. And it's like, okay, we're not really separated by that far. Japan is sort of a little far from across the Sea of Japan, across, from Korea. But Japan also is like a long stretch of islands that goes through different fucking climates because they have super tropical islands in the super, super south. Like if you're like south of Okinawa, like they have a chain of islands that are just down there that have been occupied by Japanese for years, but are like almost fucking the Philippines, and South Islands. And then they have those islands all the way up north with snow-capped mountains. You go fucking skiing and it's all Japan and those islands up there. So, and that almost touches Russia. Like that last rat tail of Russia, before you're going up to fucking Alaska.
Rat tail of Russia. Wow.
I mean, I live in Florida. It's the penis of the United States. It's the syphilitic dick of the United States of America.
Dick of the United States of America. Well, I didn't realize we got a comment on our Not a Kanye episode. That's hilarious.
No, that's what I said. I said, I'm calling this the TikTok balloon, Mr. Zeke. I'm calling this the TikTok balloon. This is not, because they already went through. They already said we're going to call this the Wuhan balloon. We're going to call this shit the COVID balloon. Now it's the China balloon. They're like, no, that's a little too much. So it's going to be the TikTok balloon.
Balloon. Wait, what?
It's going to be called the TikTok balloon. That's what they're going to start calling this.
Apparently, I got an article from October 8th, 2014, that there was a hot air balloon challenge in Wuhan, China.
So you think this shit's been up there since then? Imagine this is just like this is China's like fucking bootleg, IP version of Up.
Wow.
There was some old guy in that fucking balloon that like is now floating somewhere in the fucking Atlantic Ocean.
So when they found it was what, in North Carolina or South Carolina?
Myrtle Beach.
So that means it had to fly either across the North Pacific.
Like this. It went like this and then down into like the plains and then across.
That means it had to start in like California or Washington or Oregon.
It came down through Idaho or Montana. Something like that.
Yeah, but those don't border the water.
No, it borders Canada. It went over Canada too.
Oh, so
Alaska into Canada. Yeah, it went into Alaska into the Yukon. And then the Yukon to like fucking maybe Alberta or whatever, and then over Montana-ish, Idaho, or however that works. I'm trying to be geographical. And then it dropped down a little south, and then Kansas, and then straight across to Carolinas. And they followed it the whole time. As soon as it came into United States airspace the second time. Because the first time, I don't think they knew it was over Alaska, and that's what caused a lot of this fucking controversy. to begin with. So I'm thinking
Crazy.
they were like, shit, how can we let this pass? Canada, I think Canada told us that it was there. And then we started following it. We didn't shoot it because we were afraid debris was going to hit civilians. Do you know how much barren land this thing flew over? That it's just as likely to hit a fucking, it's more likely to hit a whale or a dolphin than it is to hit a fucking elk or grizzly bear where they could have shot this down. Yes. Like, the Badlands of fucking, like, Montana, they could have shot this thing down over. In a fucking dinosaur bone pit, and everybody would be fucking fine, like with that, because it was like, oh, at least we got it second time. Everyone got pissed because it made it all the way and we let it go. Now, the only reason I think you could possibly want to do that for is to see how much, if they're gathering information, how much in total they were trying to go after. Because if you shot this thing over Canada, you wouldn't have found out that it went over air bases. There was restricted airspace this thing flew over, and they allowed it to, probably to see what kind of information they were trying to get. And then by shooting it down over the Atlantic, whatever they could retrieve that information and say that, well, this is what they were looking for. This was their target, so they at least get fucking information on that. You know what I mean? And they sort of used to do that, like when they would fucking goad people into being terrorists just so they could pull other terrorists out. Like they would have FBI agents would purposely indoctrinate people.
Yeah, you would have 15 FBI agents just to get two guys.
That was the funniest shit ever, dude. Because what was that? I think there was a meme with the Spider-Man, the 3 Spider-Man where they're pointing at each other and be like, who's the rat? And it's like, yeah, I mean, really, it's amazing the lengths. And I'm pretty sure it didn't start off like that. Pretty sure. What happened to you, Spider-Man, on the windowsill?
I don't know.
I got a whole bunch of Spider-Man shit. I'm just not in a room that has any Spider-Man shit in it. The 2 other rooms in my house have Spider-Man shit.
I don't know where Spider-Man went, though.
He is elusive as fuck.
I don't know.
If it wasn't for that red and blue suit, he'd be a fucking ninja. That's why I always thought he should kept the black suit the whole time. After he got the symbiote suit, he should have just went black suit the whole time. Just be ninja the whole time. Ninjas are better. Once you make something a ninja, it's better. Oh, I heard that calling something or calling somebody a ninja is now canceled.
Okay. So
because it's
I
don't know if it's
I did that at work. And I said that, I used that word instead of the other word.
Yes. But in that context, calling somebody like, wow, he's so quiet, he's a ninja,
no, hold on.
Is racist.
Not
trying to fit it in for the N-word. I'm just saying calling somebody.
What I did was I was explaining how, like, me and my friend who not also was black because I'm not black, but he was black, were around other people, and he referred to me as his
ninja.
And I referred to him as my and then the person I said that in front of was like, hey, why don't you use the word? I'm like, well, for one, I'm not going to say that word for no reason. That has to be the proper context, and I won't say that word. But if you want me to help you figure out what word I'm talking about, I use ninja then instead. And he goes, whoa, you can't do that either. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do that? He goes, that's just as bad as the word. And I go, you know what? I also think
What was their reasoning, though? What was their reasoning? Because
they didn't go into reasoning, and I said it's just as bad as saying the N word. When you say the N word, you're secretly like Louis C.K. said, it's totally his bit. Yeah. You're secretly implanting that word in my head.
In my head, yes.
In my head, yes.
And he's right, dude. Because like if you say the F word, I hear fuck.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're trying to translate to me. So what I'm saying is like how it was, the context that was explained to me was that by stating that somebody's a ninja, if they are not themselves in fact a ninja, is being racist against Asians and Japanese. And it's also a negative term because ninjas were assassins. So there's like this compounded reason on why not to call somebody a ninja.
Well-
When I used to, that was my go-to compliment. Like I would say that at work all the time. If somebody was a good worker and I was recommending them to get transferred to another job site, and the guy was like, "How is he? How does he work? Or how is she? How does she work?" I'll be like, "She's a ninja. She knows what she's doing. She's a trained assassin." I would just call people ninjas.
And then
you know what I mean?
And then they wouldn't hire them because they thought you meant something completely
They
different.
were racist against ninjas.
So, but
No, but honestly, that's how I would use it, and I would continue to use it for a long time, and I still want to use it. And I'm like, is this? I got a question for you because I was thinking about you when I thought of this. I was like, all right, fine. If it's ninjas are so cool though. I'm saying like ninjas are like when I was a kid, it was the best fucking thing growing up. You know, you add something to a ninja, and it was the shit. Turtles, ninjas, the shit. You know what I mean? So
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Tails in a half shell, turtle
Power.
Yeah, so that's the shit. And the
You
thing
said
is,
you were gonna
like,
ask something. You said you had
yes.
something.
Now, like, let's just say if this upsets people, and now I can't be in a restaurant and say, "Oh, this is my ninja," you know what I mean? Or I'm a ninja, or I do ninja shit. You know what I mean?
Or yo, my ninja, what's up with this food?
Or I'm a trained ninja. You know what I mean? Then what if I call somebody a samurai? Like, yo, that guy's great at what he does. He's great at his sport. He's great at his
the
trade. He's a fucking
samurais
samurai. He's a
were
warrior.
the enemies of the ninja. They were enemies.
Yeah, but it's like, what if you call somebody a warrior? And it doesn't matter. Non-binary, male, female, it doesn't matter. They're a warrior. You know what I mean? Is that a pejorative? The thing is, like what the fuck? Like you can't just take these awesome words away. You can't do that shit. Like I understand taking insults and things that are racial.
Yeah, but half the time the people complaining about these insults, it doesn't even insult them. It doesn't apply to them. Like if it doesn't apply to you, you're literally just offended because you can be and you want to be, and not because it actually offended you.
Like I'll tell you this, and this is just to give this in context, and I don't understand some people sometimes. I'm driving through a pretty big intersection, avenue to avenue. So it's like, there's 3 lanes on each way of traffic. So it's 6 lanes of traffic and 6 lanes of traffic at a cross section. And there's a big, huge sign holding protest. 75% of the people in this thing are definitely women, right? And I'll tell you what it was for, what they were protesting. They're marching across the intersection, stopping traffic, and they all got white shirts on and white pants and a bloody crotch. And they're protesting against male circumcision. Like on some, now I'm just saying, where's the dog in that fight?
Okay.
Why? Like you don't, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, God.
You know that those women, all of them, are getting a little extra excited when they fucking unzip their man's pants and they see a fucking anteater. They like a little extra skin. So it's a little perverted, if you ask me. Their motivations don't seem to be like
First off,
noble.
Mr. Z, it's bad. Bad. So it's BAD. It's not bad. It's BAAD.
Yeah,
like you wouldn't say she's fat, FAT. She's fat, PHAT. It's not. It's not the same thing.
How very 90s of you, Mike. Bringing fat back. I like it when a nice like slang term makes a fucking boomerang back into
But they always do. Like the kids, the shit that kids are saying nowadays, unless it applies to something that's really new, like TikTok or video games or whatever, they consistently reuse slang.
Well, calling a shorty bad, right? Was something that was around in the 80s and then
you just
disappeared.
said 2 things. You just said 2 in one. You said a shorty.
Yeah.
And you said bad.
Well, people were called people shorties.
No, I understand what you're saying, but you just used 2 slangs together.
Yes, I did. I didn't realize.
Remember the phrase "stop fronting"? Stop fronting.
Yeah, stop fronting. Or you call if somebody was being like, man, you call them a herb. Like, stop being a herb. I used to love
that kid's a herb.
Or he herbed them out.
so many different meanings. And that's such a stupid word too.
It is, but it sounded cool, like saying it.
Maybe.
Don't be a herd. Come on, Mike. Stop being a herd.
Hey.
You're being a fucking herd.
Stop it. Stop it. You're about to get joked, bro. You're about to get joked.
I'm about to yoke this motherfucker.
Yoke this motherfucker. Snuff. I'm gonna snuff you, bro. Don't make me snuff you. About to snuff you, bro. Yo, he got snuffed.
Man, street confrontations was an art back in the day. There was an art. There was like almost like you just said, all of the relevant terms that somebody would have used to start a fucking street fight back in the day.
Well, I laugh at those YouTubers that always almost get killed because they start fights.
Oh my god!
But it's amazing how so many people are so easily triggered to fight.
No, but this is the thing. It's crazy how like diluted the TikToker's mind is. To think that for 1 second that this world isn't just as violent as it has ever been.
Yes, and magically thinking 4 words, it's just a prank, is gonna magically save your life. Hey, no, dude, it's just a prank.
Oh man, back in the day of Jackass and CKY, they would just take the beating on camera. Like most of the time,
not even that. It was they also they didn't.
They showed up with an NDA.
But they didn't do things like just start fights with random people. Like
no,
openly.
But a lot of those pranks did piss people off.
Yes, and they got their ass kicked. Some of them, like I think was
Johnny
Knoxville or Johnny Knoxville. It was one of them.
All of them did. Bam Margera did. Everybody did. Johnny Knoxville famously got assaulted while he was in the grandpa outfit. For not the movie, but for one of the pranks, or it might have been the movie. Who knows?
Well, the movie was a spinoff of, wasn't it?
Of that
Jackass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he may have one of the prankies weren't too happy with them, and what was it? It was like some fucking TikToker got like not pushed into a locker. They got pushed into something, and like got closed up in it, like a box of some sort. That was strategically placed. But then again, I sort of called bullshit on that because it was strategically placed.
Listen. All that stuff is semi-real. It's not all real. It's like reality TV. It's not all real. In fact, I wouldn't trust anything that's on that TV. Watch the movie, 1984.
Or read the book.
Yeah, don't watch the movie. Read the book. The audiobook is free on YouTube, but they probably cut stuff out. But just because we literally have that now right here. It's right here. This tells you what to believe. This tells you what you want to hear. It lies to you.
Or it tells you too much truth that you didn't need to hear. Some people should live in ignorance, and some people need to wake the fuck up. And I think that's where the balance is shifted off. Is that all the people who knew what the fuck was going on were wide awake, and all the people who like think they know what the fuck is going on now are like the most asleep and like attached to this. I've been social media free for a month and a half. That was one of my New Year's resolutions.
Wait, really?
I haven't been on Facebook in a little over 6 weeks. I haven't posted. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to load Facebook to call you out on it, but it's not working because Facebook is being slow as shit.
No, I haven't posted anything. I might have been tagged in.
No, you've definitely been tagged in things because people are savages. I hate that shit sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm 100% sure I haven't posted anything since last year. I don't think it's been a while. On Instagram too. I don't think I posted anything on Instagram.
You're a Jets fan? How sad that is.
That's how you can tell. That was the beginning of the season. That's how that and football's over. So that was the last time I posted anything. It's just you know what it is now, and I'll tell you this, right? I've been getting most of my information just straight up from regular ass fucking like read your way through it internet news and podcasts. So like podcasts let me know some shit's going down, and then I'll Google it. And then fucking look for whatever the best sources or try to get as many bullshit sources just so I can fucking sort it out myself.
Raymond's in the house.
What's up, Raymond? That I might.
What you doing down under? I don't know what accent that was. It was like a mix of Peaky Blinders.
You sounded like you were trying to make fun of a Downs person. I mean,
like a person with Down syndrome.
Oh, speaking of, right? Now answer me this.
Hold on. Nothing.
I've been meaning to bring this up.
Hold on. Nothing ever goes well after saying something about Down syndrome and the other person saying, "Speaking of which."
It's all right. It's what it's about. So there's a Instagram page called Drag Syndrome. Did you hear about this? Did we speak about this before?
No.
Okay. Now, you remember how we were talking about the last podcast, how they're sort of exploiting that like girl who has the 8-year-old disease?
Yes.
Who's 23. And they're just taking advantage of it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now this guy's dating her and all this shit. So it just seems like a little sort of set up for predation, right?
Yes.
Now, there's a Instagram page called Drag Syndrome where it's a troupe of people with Down syndrome in drag, and I feel like it's exploitive a little bit. I felt a little. It came up in my algorithm. I don't type this shit in; it just came up in my algorithm.
What is this? What is this? What is this?
They're in drag, and they are have Downs.
Is for real? I mean,
yes, this is happening.
No, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this at all. However,
I feel like they could be, I don't know if they're doing it on their own.
Hold on. I don't see anything wrong with this. To each their own. However, this is fucking hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
And if somebody makes fun of it, you should not get offended. Because this is fucking hilarious.
I think this is its purpose a little bit.
If they also were just no Down syndrome, this would still be fucking hilarious. But them having Down syndrome makes it a little bit more fucking hilarious. Now, I'm not making fun of their Down syndrome, or even that they like to dress like this.
Uh-huh.
But combine the two, or whatever, it's still fucking hilarious.
It is still pretty funny.
And the thing is, they might think I'm fucking hilarious, looking or acting or whatever, and I'm okay with that. That's life.
Yeah,
but
plenty of people think I look funny.
What? Oh, So, not only is it a person with Down syndrome, I think, in drag, but they have an upside down cross on their cheek.
It's a little.
So like, you're asking for attention, and when you get the attention, it's not the attention you want, so you get offended.
But who's asking for it? Mike, this is my thing. Now check this out, right? What are the chances of somebody being born with Down syndrome? What are the numbers?
I don't know. Let's see.
Well, just assume it's not like 1 out of every 2. It's not. What is it? 1 out of every 100? Is it 1 out of every 1,000?
Each year, 6,000 babies born in the United States have Down syndrome. 1 in every 700.
Okay. So 1 in every 700. Now, what I remember from a Shane Gillis bit when he was a coach for the Special Olympics is that Downs boys typically are very predictable, and they like 2 things: John Cena and titties.
Wait, really?
It's a Shane Gillis bit.
So I have one thing in common with them.
One thing. They love Can't See Me and and the heavies. They love the heavies. Now that being said, right? 1 out of 700. Now half of them are girls, half of them are boys. So it's 1 out of 1,400. And chances are they like titties and John Cena. Now, it's 1 out of 1,400. It's probably 1 out of 1,000,000 that you get one that maybe, I don't know, maybe they are effeminate. Maybe they want to be in drag. Now, wouldn't you have to hunt that down? That's not just falling in your lap. This isn't Los Angeles where actresses are
No.
everywhere.
Yes.
So it's like I could find an actress. It's like you have to seek these people out. Now you're seeking them out.
Or
I wouldn't have a problem with this, Mike. I wouldn't feel immoral about this if the person running the page
you think-
and the person filming them had Downs themselves. Because then it's just somebody who's a normie exploiting Downs kids and dressing them up.
I figured you. Yes, that's the good point. Is this person that runs this page literally exploiting these people?
Yeah.
Now,
Which is still, like, in a way, I'm not trying to take the funny away from it, because it's
I
still pretty
think
fucking funny.
It's
But
it's very possible
because they're adults. They're all
the
adults.
same group of people. It seems in most of the pictures.
Yeah.
It seems like as it's them. Like this might be their.
Like, they found each other.
Yeah, I mean, anyone could start a group and
Because then that I don't give a shit. Then do then
Yeah,
you do
there's
it.
nothing
But if
wrong
it's
with this.
but if it's some dude who's like monetized this and these kids don't get no fucking money, you know what I mean? If it's something like that,
no. See, it's a internationally acclaimed drag collective for the highly addictive queens and kings with Down syndrome. So yes, it is. Yeah, and their website
All right.
has links to. A Down
just as
syndrome
long
website.
as they're being kind and not fucking like exploiting them for
Yeah, it looks-
entertainment purposes. Because otherwise, I mean, listen, if it's self-exploitation, what I don't give a shit is if they're consciously making that decision to be like, I am doing this and I love the fucking attention. Which the thing is, Downs kids are a fucking good time. They love to have fun like all the time.
Yeah, I where was I? I was in Florida at one point in my life, and I think a person with Down syndrome schooled me in pool. And I was a little pissed off because,
No, hey, listen, it's not going to stop him. That extra
I almost got
chromosome was what
hustled.
beat the game.
I
That
almost
extra
got hustled,
That extra chromosome was just the edge he needed to get one over on.
right?
It doesn't mean they can't be talented. Sometimes they're real fucking strong.
This is
That's why they
why-
have an Olympics. That's why they have their own Olympics.
This is why I love our show, is because we started with balloons floating in the air that might be aliens, and we ended it on Down syndrome or something. Drag
Drag
queen.
syndrome. Yeah.
Down syndrome.
If you have a chance, follow them on Instagram. Drag syndrome. I don't know. I
them.
sort of, for some reason, I see fucking like Downs people having fun. And
Yeah, I mean, look.
I fucking want to have fun.
To each their own.
I'm super
Whatever makes you
jealous of
happy,
how much of a good time
right? They look like they're having a
individuals-
blast.
They always look like they're having a blast.
They always look like they're having.
I
a blast.
feel like they live in a. There was a guy who I used to take the bus with and the train with in Brooklyn, and I think his name, I'm not sure if he had. Maybe he did have Downs. I'm not sure, but his name was Jackie, and he was older. He was much older. He had to be like in his. By the time I was taking the bus and train with him, he had to already be in his late 40s, early 50s, and he knew everybody in the neighborhood. And this guy loved waking up in the morning. Everybody on the bus, it's dark out. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Everybody's got like a grimace. This guy is fucking saying good morning to
Smile.
everybody, smiling. The fucking mayor of the goddamn neighborhood. Loved every day.
You gotta love every
And I'm a
day.
little jealous. I'm a little fucking jealous. I'm a little jealous.
I mean,
Because they fucking love John Cena and titties.
why John Cena?
John Cena appeals. This is what it is. It's that part about them that's always childlike, and John Cena is the ultimate fucking
Did
wrestling face, and little kids love faces in wrestling.
Did you see
They're all about that shit.
Peacemaker, the show?
Yes,
It was fucking awesome.
John Cena is a great
Okay.
comedic actor. I think he's really funny.
I hate John Cena. Absolutely hate him. So I wasn't gonna watch the show. I'm like, I don't hate the person. I don't like his.
Yeah, just his
acting.
persona, wrestling. His persona, yeah.
So I didn't want to give the show a chance, but I was told by everyone give the show a chance, and I absolutely loved the show. It was awesome. It was fucking hilarious, and he was perfect for that role. Perfect.
Well, he was great in the Suicide Squad. The second
Yes.
one.
Well, it's a spin off of that, and
Spin-off,
that's what made that. Yes, 100%.
He was also funny in a few other movies too. There's a movie that he did where he's like fucking on drugs the whole time. and him and his girlfriend are just like fucked up couple or something like that, and they meet another couple that's like the straight couple, and I think they were hammered half, and it was funny. I can't remember the name of it, but he's in comedies and he does really well. I even think that damn, there was that movie Trainwreck with
Charlize Theron? Was it? No.
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 No. The senator's niece. What the fuck? Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer.
Bill Hader.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was in that movie. He was really funny, and he played like a goody two shoes bodybuilder athlete guy, and he's really funny. I think he could be really funny. I hated his character in WWE. Actually, the John Cena era was when I like completely stopped watching. Yeah, altogether. You know, I started watching again when he sort of dipped out, or people were beating on him, and they were like using that against him. So his face status got him to be that. Like people got fed up with him. And we're booing him, even though he was playing it up for the kids. But he would say it, I'm here. I'm not here for you. I'm here for the little ones. That guy's done more Make-A-Wish Foundation requests than anybody ever.
He's not a bad guy in real life at all.
This is why the Downs kids love him. All he's doing is fucking Make-A-Wish. This guy literally, there's 365 days in a year. He's doing 400 Make-A-Wish fucking visits a year. It's crazy. That means every time he stops in a city, he's seeing 2 or 3 sick kids.
You do need to watch that show. It was pretty impressive.
Dude, it was awesome. It was brutal. It was very graphic. It was very adult. There was a lot of brain matter. It was very good. Love it. Couldn't recommend it anymore. If you like Deadpool, you'll like that show. Yeah. Like if you like that kind of like it's comic book, but it's fucking a little.
It's the way a comic book should be. It's literally the way it should be. Except adults, not all of them. Yes, but not all of them are gonna be like that. But like yes, like you said, in the Deadpool genre or era, or even it's not the same because it wasn't comedy. But Logan was awesome.
Gritty. It wasn't that funny though, because but it was still gritty. It was still like fucking real. I'm a little afraid of the new Joker movie because it's supposed to be a musical.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga apparently is playing Harley Quinn, and they're using Harley Quinn's actual origin story with her being a psychiatrist who falls in love with the Joker in the Arkham Asylum.
Wait, did you just say it's supposed to be a musical?
Yes.
I don't do musicals.
I typically don't too, but I feel like I'm like sort of pot committed on Batman. I gotta go. I've seen every.
You're not pot committed on a musical.
It's a musical.
Yeah, you're not pot committed on that.
But it's the Joker.
You're really okay with the Joker singing?
I don't know what they mean by musical, because there was another movie that somebody was calling a musical, and there was like one part of the movie that had a musical part in it, but it wasn't every scene has a musical bit. Like it was just the middle of the movie had a.
Yeah,
It's like saying this. You remember 40-Year-Old Virgin? It's like calling 40-Year-Old Virgin a movie when the end had a musical part. The Age of Aquarius. You remember the last 5 minutes of the movie?
Yeah, but that's not musical.
This one movie I was tricked into okay, you watch a musical. I'm like, it sucked. The movie was actually pretty good. It was only 10 minutes of it in the middle of the movie where there's actually some sort of musical number going on. So if it's something like that, where he's hallucinating, where he's like hallucinating some sort of musical, I'm down with that if they do it tastefully. But if it's legit, like I'm on Broadway,
I tried to watch. I turned it on because I watched almost everything on all the streaming services I had. So I put it on Into the Woods, not realizing it was a musical.
Yeah.
About 30 seconds into the movie, they're singing. I turned it off. I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? Off. Like, I barely watched Team America World Police.
That's different, though.
I've seen it. It took me a while.
The South Park movie's a fucking musical also.
I saw the South Park movie in theaters, and I remember I remember seeing it and turning to my father because I think it was rated R, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I was old enough to be seeing the rated R.
Yeah, Saddam's dick was in the movie. Like Saddam Hussein was like pulling his dick out. Like
I remember turning to my father, and I'm not old enough to see rated R movies yet. And I turned to my father and I go, "This is a fucking musical? I don't want to watch this." He's like, "Shut up! It's hilarious." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll give it a chance." But fucking musicals.
Depends, I guess. Like Little Shop of Horrors is a musical.
Yeah, and I like that.
The last time I think I sat through a musical intentionally, knowing that I was going into that, not being tricked, was the Sweeney Todd movie, the Tim Burton.
Oh, I did not like that movie.
And that was like I knew it. I mean, I'm indifferent. Like I really don't have like an opinion. You know, I guess it was good if you're into musicals because everybody who liked musicals like said it was good. So I was like, I guess it is. And the story's pretty sick.
Did you
know
see
what
that?
I mean?
The Killing Joke?
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude. That's one of the like that and the Death in the Family too. What the animated remakes of those storylines are fucking awesome. Like if you got to read the comic book, The Killing Joke, or if you got to read Death in the Family when it was released in 1989.
Yo, I didn't even know they made this.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's on fucking HBO Max. Actually, there's a whole shitload of fucking Batman cartoons that are PG-13 or rated R on fucking HBO Max. Some of that shit is better than those DC movies they're putting out. Which, speaking about Batman, right? Batman is in the new Flash movie, and I talked so much shit about Ezra Miller. We had an episode about Ezra Miller where I talked mad shit. And I said I'm not going to see that.
You're not going to see it, right?
But I am going to go see it because fucking Michael Keaton is Batman in this.
Guess what? This is what happened. You ready for this?
Yeah.
They filmed the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. They filmed the movie. And then this guy, whatever his fucking name is, became a they them retard.
Well, he's a cult leader. He's been human trafficking and shit in New Mexico.
I say that in a nice way because I'm not calling him a retard because he's a they them. I'm calling him a retard because what you just said, he assaulted didn't he assault an old lady or something?
Yeah. He flipped out of the supermarket or something like that. He was like, yeah.
So once he did that crazy shit, they said we need to save this movie somehow. Someone's like, I have an idea. We'll add Keaton as Batman to the movie.
It's not a bad idea.
And they went back, they reshot it, did some reshoots, kept telling this guy, dude, you should get your shit together. We're gonna fix this movie, save this movie. And now they piqued the interest of all the simple-minded. Congratulations, Ryan.
I'm not all up there, bro.
To be honest, I also want to see it because it's Keaton as Batman.
Yeah, it's Keaton as Batman. It's the only selling point. Otherwise, I don't give a shit about Ezra Miller as the Flash. I don't even care about Flash the character.
They should have kept it as the guy who played it on the TV show.
That would be the good idea.
That is the greatest idea.
Yeah. He's also safe. He's not a cult leader.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't assault old people.
He doesn't have his own Nexium cult. Fucking women are, like branding their vages. But listen, it got me because honestly, in 1989, I was 8 years old and I waited online to see the fucking Batman movie when it was released. And when it first came out, I was there, and that was the Batman that I grew up with, was him. And you know what I mean? Like, and the guy who just passed away, who did the voice of Batman in the cartoons, the animated series.
When did Batman come out?
89.
Really?
Yeah. Came out 1 year after Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was 88. It also came out the same year. I think it was released
Beetlejuice was 88? Jesus.
Yeah. And I think the Batman movie was released around the same time as the Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters 2.
Jesus.
89 was a busy year. 89, 90. 90 was the first Ninja Turtles movie. Came out in 90. I also waited online for that shit.
What was Beetlejuice
2.5 hours.
rated? PG. That's not a PG movie. Today's standards, at least, it's not.
They literally reached the limit of F-bombs for it to be PG. I think in the 80s, you were allowed 3 fucks or 4 fucks. And once you went above it, then you got the PG-13 rating. And then he grabbed his dick, and he also goosed her. And I think you're allowed 2 vaguely sexual acts.
Yeah, so in Beetlejuice, there's 2 F-bombs. That's crazy.
Nice fucking model, honk honk.
Yeah.
He kicks over the model. He goes, "Nice fucking model, honk honk," and he grabs his dick.
I remember that. That's why I said, "Wow." I remember that. All right, it is 10:25. We should say goodbye to everybody.
And that was your dipshit movie review.
And that was my dipshit movie review. Dipshit of the week is no.
I remember that year, Mr. Z. Oh, no dipshit of the week. We didn't have a dipshit of the week. Oh. Let's just see that guy in that video who was like, why would they shoot it over us? How about he's dipshit of the week?
Hold on. Wrong button. Sorry, guys. The dipshit of the week is the guy in the video we played earlier. So you have to watch the beginning of this episode.
That fucking
He's
pussy.
the guy who said, "Oh, they're shooting the satellite.
Why would
not
they
satellite,
do
the
that
balloon.
over us?
Oh my God, they shot it over us."
It's debris falling.
And then the son or friend or nephew or whatever he was like, dude, that's over the ocean. He literally says to him, like,
What
dude,
a pussy.
that's over the ocean, guy. It's like miles away. It's gonna hit us. No, it's that way. Do you not understand distance here, dude? It's that way. That's the dipshit of the week.
Thank you, Mike. And to all you dipshits,
Have a good night.
keep dipping the shit.